Hey there, TikTakers! At this point, talking about COVID-19 is the most normal thing in the world. And even though we thought that more than a year after it appeared, everything would go back to normal, we've seen that hasn't been the case, and we're still having to live around the virus and its lethal consequences. And even though we have recovered a bit of normality, millions of people around the world still get infected every day. This is why it's so important for all of us who can to get vaccinated as soon as possible. And this is not only to reduce the spread of the virus, but also because the consequences of catching the virus could be really serious and even lethal. Now, have you heard about long COVID? This is a syndrome characterized by the persistence of COVID-19 symptoms weeks and even months after getting infected, or when the symptoms reappear after they already disappeared once after the infection. Even though the people who suffer from COVID with more virulence and symptoms could be more prone to getting infected, anybody can get infected with the virus even if the symptoms you experience are more mild. This virus can also affect people of any age, although after several studies we learned that it's been more common in middle-aged women. And if you think this is something rare and uncommon, unfortunately you'd be wrong, as more and more people are claiming to be suffering from long COVID. More specifically, Spain's health ministry has said that approximately 1 out of 5 people experiences some COVID symptoms on the 5th week after getting infected. And in the longer term, they established that 1 out of 10 people has experienced COVID-related issues 12 weeks after the infection. There have also been cases of people experiencing COVID symptoms for an entire year, TikTakers. So, just like you can imagine, this is a very serious condition which can heavily impact the quality of life of those who suffer from it. Many cannot go back to work and can't even socialize normally. COVID symptoms are especially varied. Some people experience tiredness, general malaise, joint and muscle pain, dizziness, fever, and even sleep disorders. Others also experience respiratory or digestive problems such as diarrhea and stomach aches. There are also people who experience difficulty concentrating, headaches, loss of taste and smell, throat and ear pain. There are just too many possible symptoms, TikTakers, and some of the most common ones also include hair loss and skin rashes. Each person reacts differently to the virus, and the reactions will also depend on additional factors. For instance, it is known that being overweight and suffering from asthma are factors which can worsen the COVID symptoms, although there have been a few exceptions here and there. Now, keep in mind that so far we've only talked about the most visible symptoms, TikTakers. We still haven't talked about the terrible psychological consequences many people experience. Anxiety and depression are present more than ever, and the loneliness, fear, and social isolation makes it more important than ever for us to take good care of our mental health. Because of this, everyone who suffers from long COVID should visit a medical professional in order to receive proper guidance and treatment for this condition. Unfortunately, there is still much we don't know about the virus, so there is no perfect cure yet. However, we have advanced a lot in the fight against the virus, TikTakers, so it is important to acknowledge that. Please keep in mind that if any of you or anyone you know is suffering from long COVID, all over the world there are groups and associations dedicated to helping people suffering from this syndrome, as well as contributing to the research against COVID. Only through science we'll be able to find a solution to this virus, so that those who have suffered from it can continue their lives as normally as possible. Remember that you are not alone and that you have our support. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, and if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode.